Hey guys, you've been asking for another Q&A. You guys have been telling me there's questions you've been wanting to ask me. And so here we go. Another edition of a Q&A answering your questions. My favorite podcast right now that I'm listening to, I actually listen to Masterclass, like a podcast. So I've done a ton of masterclasses. I think I've probably done 12, 12 different ones. I love them. I listen to them when I'm working out. I listen to them when I'm driving. I listen to them when I'm walking around the city because I live in New York. So that, although it's not a podcast per se, that's how I listen to it. And so I would have to say Masterclass. I love it. So what I'm binging right now is a show called The Bureau, and it's not on anymore, which is a bummer because I love it. But we're on season 3 and it's a French show. The whole thing is subtitled and it's beautiful. I really love the way it's shot. It's very simple in its storytelling. It's cinematic. They really just stay with the character. And I just really love, also because I'm a director as well, I love watching how other cultures tell their stories. And I think that's really important to be able to watch and to be able to juxtapose. If this show was American made, thinking about how different it would be, how differently it would be shot, and how it would, I feel that if it was an American show, it would be really paced up with this type of content that they cover. And it's really beautiful to see how you know, it's told in French, which is, it's very different. I love it. So that's currently what I'm binging. I love The Bureau too, because when I, when I was younger, I lived in Europe. So I also love watching things that are in Italian, because when I was younger, I spoke a bit of Italian and I'm trying to like get it to come back. And I also lived in France for a little while. So I also love just hearing French, and it makes some things come back. It's also kind of nostalgic for me. So that's another fun part of why I like watching it. Do I listen? Is that because someone saw like a karaoke thing of me? Say It Ain't So is like a karaoke song I sing all the time. The whole bar knows it. It's like super nostalgic. And everybody sings Say It Ain't So if you sing it in karaoke. It's super fun. But that's probably my extent of Weezer. That is a great karaoke song for you guys out there who are, I don't know who's doing karaoke anytime soon right now, but when things are back, Say It Ain't So is usually a crowd pleaser. Right now we're just focusing on English. My daughter is very eloquent. She's almost 5. My son is starting to really form words, which is really exciting. He's like, his personality is blossoming, and it's so great to hear him talking now, saying what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he wants to do. So right now we're just honing in on our language, and then totally, they're absolutely going to learn another language at least, because I do think it's really, really important. I think it's really important for our kids to be able to speak another language. So yeah, I mean, I hope so. But again, they're very young still. Age and maturity. I mean, that's what's helped me, just like a boots on the ground experience. Just like, I find that, especially now being a mother, and the thing that's so crazy is as soon as we created my family, I found my partner I want to spend my life with, finally, and we had our children, and my priorities shifted immediately. They were so shifted. They were so laser focused. My family's first, period. That's like, for me, it was that. My family's first. And it was like this cellular change, when my priorities got so focused, that really had a lot to do. I mean, I feel like, honestly, being in the industry that I'm in, I learned very young that really have to have thick skin, or you're just not gonna have a good time in this industry. It's just too hard. That if you let every little thing bother you, if you let every no bother you, it's going to be miserable for you. So you kind of have to figure out ways to like deal with it. First it was like being in an industry that's like, I love it. I love the industry that I'm in, but it's also not easy. It's like hard, obviously. It's not an easy industry to work in and also to grow up in, and I'm so blessed to be in it. I love my job. But you really have to learn how to let things kind of roll off your back, or else you're going to have a really tough time. So that for me, I think really helped kind of build in confidence. I also find that just age and maturity really helps. And then the real thing that really changed everything for me was my family. My priorities are so laser focused that if it takes me away from my family, or it's not good for my family or something like that, I mean, I'm just like, go away. Like, I can't, like, whether it's a job or whatever. That also, my confidence and just my way of being, having that priority shift and being so focused has really been awesome to experience. So I think just life itself and my family and the priority shift, I think, has really helped with just confidence in general, and just being comfortable in who I am, as a person. I think that's really, and we've said this before. I've said this before to you guys, and it's so important for me that I'll share it again, and I talk to my kids about this, and there really is one you, and there's no one else like you. And, my daughter even has this book of this National Geographic, like the Book of Why. And even in the book, it talks about how there's only one her, and they talk about different kinds of hair and different kinds of skin and different kinds of eye colors. And, what temperature does water freeze at, and why? What are clouds made out of? Like, it's this really great book of why. And in there, they talk about, the individual and how there's nobody else like you. And we read it, I'm like, see, this is what we're always talking about. There's no one else like you. And but it's true. It's, that's another thing where it took me years to get to that point and really truly understand that there is only one you. So you're, the question about the products that, someone asked me, or when people ask me about my career or family or whatever, it's like, figure out for yourself what it means for you, because no one else is going to have that same exact way of doing it, which is so great. It's, that's so much fun. So I think understanding that too has really helped as well.